Our guest, the new chairman of the Committee on Justice and Human Rights. We go straight to the source. Senator, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
All right, how was your stint so far as chairman of the House Committee on Justice and Human Rights?
A lot of hard work. We have to really dig in and find out what testimonies have been given and background information on the people who are playing, and at the same time, while you're chairing, trying to pacify everybody, trying to make sure that they don't go beyond the pale in terms of investigation. You're also trying to listen to the witness to find out what his demeanor is, whether he's telling the truth. And of course, the law is always applying in your mind, so that's how it is.
How is it to pacify your colleagues, Senator?
Well, we do pacify our colleagues. I've always been adept at that. I mean, at the start of the hearing, I said I would not entertain any shenanigans. I would not entertain any coaching. And so what I did also was change the physical arrangements. I put two microphones side by side, left by right, so nobody can go and finish off the microphone while somebody's still speaking.
Yeah.
And
you laid out a number of rules.
Oh, yeah, I did.
10 minutes.
10 minutes will be allowed for questions, but I will give wide latitude to the witness so they can tell the truth. And if I feel that they're saying something correct, or that they're doing the cross-examination correctly, I will give them latitude, or the direct examination, I will give them latitude. So the public is able to follow, because if everybody's taking pot shots, the public no longer is interested.
But let's talk about Edgar Matubato for,
Sure.
well, right now, sir. What do you think of his testimony?
Well, it's been a litany of, hearsay evidence. Si President Duterte ba ang kausap mo? Sabi niya, si President Duterte. Sino nagsabi sa'yo? Si Sergeant Lacanos ba yan, or whatever, no?
Las Cañas.
Las Cañas. And every time, sinong kasamong pumatay? Paano niya pinatayan? Sinaksak. Tapos anong ginawa niya? Binikti. Tapos anong binikti niya? Tapos chinap-chap. Tapos maraming inconsistencies. Tapos sabi niya...
Maraming what?
Inconsistencies. Nag-iiba siya. Every time especially when the affidavit was shown by Senator Cayetano, he was asked, gumawa ka ba ng affidavit tungkol dito sa mga DDS at saka sa mga kasong ito? Hindi po. Lumabas sa, meron siyang affidavit. And in the affidavit, lumabas na siya ay grade 3, hindi siya grade 1. And then of course, he said, pinatayin nila yung mga tauhan ni Nograles na apat.
The bodyguards,
the
security aid.
Dininay naman nila Nograles at later on, sinabi nila na ito ay tauhan ni Palparan at saka ni Ed Matiliano. Tumawag agad si Matiliano, wala kaming ina-assign dyan. So it's obvious na he's jumping from one fire to the other and not able to make a case for credibility.
So does that ruin his credibility for you?
I'm not putting the jury out on him yet. I mean, that's why I kept him out there, just in case other things might come out.
Okay, but was there any ounce of truth, you think, during his testimony that you found believable?
The only time that he touched me was he was a poor guy whose father was beheaded. I'm a very emotional person. My father was assassinated, so I was trying to look at his face and see how would it affect him. It affected me in a different way, you know. It made me become a lawyer. In this case, he started hanging around people with power, with a lot of guns, etc. And the noise out there in his own neighborhood wasn't very good about him. He was like a rolling stone looking for bossings and everything like that. So hindi mo malaman whether he's telling something that he actually knows of or it's part of the bluster.
So, but you're still giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I always give witnesses the benefit of that. Anything can happen at the last moment.
But during the senator's questioning, Senator Gordon, when do you have this distinction that it's cross-examination, and when do you say the witness is being harassed?
Well, you can see one of the witnesses being harassed if he's not given enough time to answer. But it is fair game for you to come there and accuse your other people. It is also fair game for you to be tested insofar as your credibility is concerned. If there is an attempt to confuse the witness, I will stop it. If there is an attempt to badger the witness, so long as it's if it's violative of his ability to be able to think comprehensively, I will stop that.
What about the play in the Senate? Do you see a play in the Senate among your colleagues?
There's always place in the Senate. So you should never trust anybody in the Senate. That's what was said by Senator Neptali.
No, at least vocally, you have probably Senator De Lima and Senator Trillanes. Absolutely.
That's obvious.
on one
There are
side.
players. There are players. The two are the new players on the side of against Mr. Duterte. The other players are Senator Cayetano, and the other players are people like me who are in the crossfire. And we see that because De Lima is getting an awful lot of bombardment, and she's also giving tit for tat, the Senate's integrity and dignity have been affected. And so, unbeknownst to me, Senator Pacquiao just declared that he said enough, we should replace. But the day before, we had met and we said, this is going out of hand. And so that gave the damn. By the way, Pacquiao was not there. Senator Pacquiao was not there at that meeting. And and then they said, "Oh, can you handle the meeting?" I said, "No, I don't want to do that. I have enough on my plate.
You have the blue ribbon.
I have the blue ribbon.
And
I have the
government
government corporations." No? And they said, "But you're the only lawyer who has the credibility here." And I said, "Okay." And they said, "All right, you choose." I said, "No, you choose. I will only have two choices. My choices are De Lima should be part of it. Cayetano should be part of it." So we show the public that we did not erase them completely, and that the moment they said yes, I said we will have the meeting as scheduled by Senator De Lima on that date, on Thursday, that date, and at the same time we will call on all the witnesses. And I have not changed anything.
Okay. Who are the next witnesses?
The next witness, and they were supposed to be there that day, were the CHR people who had brought in some witnesses who claimed that their people had been gunned down by vigilantes or by policemen. And if they have witnesses to that effect, and if they can corroborate those testimony, then we will take action. The whole point of this investigation, mind you, is extrajudicial killings, so-called, or the vigilante killings, or just plain killings. And the point is, the moment a firearm for the police force is concerned, the moment the firearm is discharged, even if he did not hit anybody, they have to be investigated right away. The weakness is there is no time limit. To me, as far as I'm concerned, the moment a policeman discharges his firearm, let alone kill somebody, in 48 hours, the Internal Affairs should have been able to get enough evidence to say that this was not in accordance with the rules of engagement.
Yeah, so what kind of possible legislation can you
That's
come
the
up
one.
with? That's it,
We'll
okay.
have time limits, no? And then within the next few days, they should file the case right away. They should have enough to file the case. That protects the public right away. On the other hand, you have to make sure that all this matter of having assets, they're the ones, the assets, kunyari, they're the ones, tigalibing. We should not allow these people to operate with the police force. I mean, they have enough people. They have a 306 million peso intelligence fund every year that they could utilize for this purpose. And of course, again, when it comes to drugs, again, there are rules that the drugs that are already being confiscated must be destroyed right away. And there is what they call an evidence, line of evidence that they have to do that, no? But they don't do it, so a lot of drugs are resold.
Okay, so the Senate is looking into alleged extrajudicial killings. The House is looking into the alleged proliferation of drugs at the NBP. Do you think the Senate should conduct a similar investigation as what the House is doing?
Well, the House is doing their job, unless somebody comes to the Senate and says, we have some revelation in connection with that. Then there's a resolution to us I can motu proprio call it an investigation. In fact, at the moment...
But will you?
Well, not yet. I haven't gotten anything yet. There are, and I shouldn't say this, but I will, because in the interest of transparency, there are people who are coming to me and say some person in jail wants to talk to me and will reveal certain things. And of course, in this particular case, you don't want to get burned. So we're still trying to find out. I told him, write the letter and write the things that you're going to reveal and show me how you can sustain it.
So you're still looking into this. All right. So, Senator, when is the next hearing?
Next hearing is on the 28th.
The 28th, okay.
Yes, at 9 o'clock, and then on October the 5th, same time, 9 to 11.
Senator Richard Gordon, sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Pinky. So good to see you again.
Thank you.